was writing this novel about this wishing realm. And then and then all of a sudden I'm listening to a lecture on neuroplasticity, and I was like, wait a minute, is there science in this wishing stuff?
Okay, gotcha.
And that's how it all came to me.
Cool.
So,
cool.
and
I was going to ask.
Yeah, everything I've ever done my whole life has led to this. Like it's like my first book, and then all of the other things I've done and experiences have kind of led me to this place. And to teach children, because children naturally are into wishing, right? And if we could kind of help frame their wishing to be peaceful, positive, and purposeful, I mean, then you're talking about future generations that have an instinct that, like, now when they see 1111, they won't think it's silly. They'll actually make that wish, and they'll get into peaceful, positive, and purposeful while they're doing it. Like, you never know that little tiny spark that could change the world.
I think the reason why it kind of gets lost is because as people mature, maybe start to think, oh, wishing is silly, or like, yeah, we'll let the kids have a birthday wish, but like, we're not really taking it too seriously, I think the missing component is just exactly what you said, like really having as you're calling it, the science behind it, peaceful, positive, purposeful, and having those alignments as well between the three aspects of self, mind, body, spirit, inner, outer, higher selves, Well,
and that's because, that's kind of the big message is, when you add the science, it becomes more real, it becomes more tangible, it becomes more in your control, it becomes something that has a lot more power than you realize. But when you do it within a certain framework, with a certain ritual, a certain reminder, a certain way, and you repeat it, then all of a sudden you've turned it into something much more powerful than just, poof.
So he has a few different imagination techniques, and it is a way of like materializing your wishes into fruition. He coined the phrase of living from the wish fulfilled. I think that's very related, but not from present looking past, but actually putting ourselves in the point of view of the future and looking back and being like, whatever it is that I wish for, I'm going to feel like I already have it now. So it is kind of very much in alignment with like, the other manifestation techniques and The Secret and things like that. But for whatever reason, the way he presents the information like really stuck with me. The most simple one is just, I like to use a really silly example of, imagine that I have a desire to have a banana and eat a banana. So the technique, just to paint this picture, would be I would imagine and I would feel the emotion, because I'm less of a visual person personally. So charging it with gratitude, charging it with emotion is the key for me. Whatever scene you can put yourself into as if the thing that you want did come to fruition, just imagining being on the other side of the wish.
I like that.
It's been
I do talk about that in the book, and that, the seeing it as if it's completed. If you're wishing for rain, then buy the galoshes. But he does talk about, like, if you've seen it so clearly, then your brain thinks it already happened and it's not working toward it. So there is what I liked about at least the way I interpreted what you were saying is seeing it, seeing the wish fulfilled, and then seeing the steps getting there, as I'm totally filling in the blanks of what you said, but or interpreting my version of what you said. That's really beautiful, because then there are steps, and then you can see yourself making those steps, and then and so because you don't want to conflict with your body and your inner self of already have that money, so I can go ahead and buy that house. And you really start creating some havoc within your body. So, and you also want your body to go like, I'm jamming with that. I feel all those things happening. So there's a very interesting, kind of dynamic happening there that I think is important to kind of understand. But it made sense to me that there have been times in my life where I so saw it and I thought, I probably didn't even need to accomplish it because I already visualized it so clearly. So when Hubern was talking about how your brain works in that situation, I was like, oh yeah, I know. So it's one thing like, okay, I see this. Now I need to prepare. I need to know what I have to do in order to get there. And I can, and then you want to like, do I feel good in that place?